Hi, Marek. Thanks for joining us today. So to begin with, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your role at altFINS, and what altFINS does?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Pratik. Thanks for the invite. Really glad to be here. My name is Marek. I work as a research director at altFINS. We are a cryptocurrency platform where you can or where different users can scan, analyze, and trade more than 2,500 cryptocurrencies, different coins and tokens. You can also access technical analysis on different coins. You can access fundamental analysis that we provide for our exclusive users regularly. We screen different tokens and we look at their tokenomics, we look at their advantages, disadvantages, how is the user adoption, what's the team behind the project, and we all screen, like we also give our subjective valuation to different coins. And this gives users a better understanding of the project, and they can learn more about different current cryptocurrencies, and they can also make better decisions in terms of investing into these coins if they wish to, or if they just want to follow them for the future development.
Interesting. So is there like a scoring system for the coins?
Well, we score them based on their risk level. So we look at different levels of risk. We categorize them into low risk segment, medium, and high risk, and then we also look at the potential of the price increase for the next 1 year or two. So this is how we categorize them, if they are undervalued or overvalued, and then how risky they are.
Fantastic. And so is this platform open for everyone, or accredited,
Yes.
non-accredited, or?
No. This is open for everyone. We have recently also launched the altFINS DEX, which is a DEX aggregator where users can execute trades through our trade feature, and the DEX aggregator can screen the market, give them the best prices for the trades they wish to execute. So it's completely open for anyone. There is free registration where they can see how the platform works and what is it, and then after they subscribe, they can access different exclusive content. They can access different crypto news. They can also access research and different on-chain and analytics, and different technical analysis.
Perfect. So my goal today is to talk to you was because you're in the research space, and you are very well aware and knowledgeable about the layer 2 space for specifically. I wanted to pick your brain on what's happening in that landscape at this point. So I want to start off with, can you help us understand the different design of blockchain, specifically the modular versus monolithic style blockchain? I've seen these words float around the community. Can you clarify what a modular blockchain is and what a monolithic blockchain is?
Yeah, sure. It's a good question because it's getting straight to the core of what blockchain is, how it developed since we saw the Bitcoin came up in 2009. So if you look at the monolithic, we can think of it as a single unified code base that is basically running all the necessary functions that the blockchain should use to operate. So we can think of monolithic blockchains as a Bitcoin or Solana. So they don't rely on any third-party chain to execute any of their duties. So basically, it's a single layer 1, I would say. But Ethereum, for example, is also layer 1. But I would place it more into the middle of between monolithic and modular, because Ethereum is already using some of the modulars. It has also the Ethereum virtual machine, which is a software to execute the different smart contracts. So this makes it more advanced than the monolithic blockchains. And on the other hand, the pure modular blockchains would be the ones that they do some execution, they function as they should, but they actually don't they rely on the layer 1 chains to execute some of the functionalities. So basically, the modular blockchain are built to handle specific tasks, but they are unable to handle all the blockchain's functionalities on their own. So for example, they heavily rely on layers 1 security and the consensus. So modular blockchain, we can think of, for example, the layer 2 projects that's been recently coming up, and they are very famous, the different rollups, for example. Yeah, so we see if the blockchain had faced this big trilemma, it's more like a fight between the security, decentralization, and the scalability. And the scalability meaning that how fast, what is the throughput, or how fast the transactions can be executed, and what is the cost for that. So if we take a blockchain that is fully secured and decentralized, that is fine. That makes it very strong because you have a group of people that make some consensus, and that is hard to break. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the transaction between the users or the group would be cheap. And at times when there is a big demand, the cost of the transaction can be quite high. So in order to make the blockchain scalable, you need to introduce some of the different modularities to it, and this also increases the risk of interoperability, because when you have a multi-chain scenario, then it makes it more complex for the users also to use, and it can also take lots of time to transfer and bridge your digital assets between different chains, which exposes the users of additional risks of hacks and bugs in the system, right? So, but despite of this modular setup, we're seeing projects like SUI, for example, they are coming up with a blockchain solution that is layer 1, it's a monolithic, and they are also trying to put better and cheaper transactions. However, it takes time, and we see that also these kind of projects, it's a challenge for them, especially in the competitive environment like we have now. But any details about different monolithic or modular blockchains, you can also look into on our platform altFINS.com, where we screen different projects, including this SUI. And after then you can learn more fundamentals about different projects like this.
Got it. So you mentioned layer 2s as an example of modularity, and specifically rollups, right? So can you tell us what are these rollups? What are the different types of rollups? So we've heard Optimism, Arbitrum. What is exactly the difference between these two? What is similar? What is different?
It's you have think of a rollups. We have I think so far there are 3 different rollups. 2 are the major ones. They are called optimistic. That's the projects that you just mentioned that are coming, like Arbitrum 1 or Optimism. These are the biggest players in the optimistic rollup market. So the optimistic rollups, they work in a way that they optimistically process all transactions using the node called sequencer. This is how they make money. That's called the protocol revenue. And this sequencer is making or is processing all these transactions. And in general, the rollups are closely tied up to layer 1, to the monolithic or to the semi-monolithic layer 1. This one especially is tied up to Ethereum. So they are less complex, they need less hardware to operate, But their biggest disadvantage is that the optimistic rollup, and they are locking up users' funds for up to 7 days before users can withdraw their money or the digital assets from this layer 2. This is because of this whole system, how it operates, the technology, because it takes around 7 days to contest there is any fraudulent transaction. So to solve this, the different engineers and scientists, they came up with the better solutions, or the rollups that are rolling up the transactions and sending them to the layer 1 chain for the settlement. That they don't actually, that they can take minimal information available about the transaction and settle it quite quickly. So without actually locking up these users' funds for any time, like 7 days, so users can immediately withdraw their funds. And this would be the zero knowledge rollups that are coming up as a second most powerful technology or solution for scalability available on the market. There is also Validium. Validium is something that is using some kind of a hybrid of on-chain and off-chain and data availability that can go really deep into lots of technological like phrases and meanings. So I'm not going to go deeper into that, but the Validium is actually employs data availability and off-chain processing, which significantly, on the other hand, significantly yields better scalability for the chain. So it actually increases the throughput of different transactions. So
Got it.
from the ZK rollups, for example, we can think of projects like ZK Sync Era, ZK Scroll, or Polygon has recently came up with their ZK-EVM, and yeah, they are coming up quite fast, but still the technology is young.
Are we there yet? For the ZK rollups, are we ready to start using them? So some of them have launched their mainnets. How are they functioning? And what do you think is the future between the optimistic versus the ZK?
Yeah, well, to be honest, all in all, the ZK, it's, as I already said, it's young. There is, of course, lots of R&D coming, still lots of R&D on this technology. It's going very fast. It's going faster than initially anticipated. So we can see that there is a big interest and big demand for this either from developers, but also from the crypto users. But I think the biggest obstacle for them to make it higher or bigger adoption would be that they face the lack of full compatibility with the EMV, with the virtual machine.
EVM,
I think
EVM.
Yeah, this is the biggest problem at this stage, and the race is on, that's for sure. We see that this interest is coming from this ZK Sync Era or Polygon that have recently really jumped up their TVLs, total value locked. So we could see that since March, when Arbitrum came up with their token, governance token. So since then, the ZK rollups, the projects, the most important projects, the TVLs jumped from like 0 to even $500 million. So this proves or indicates that there is a strong interest to actually improve the technology that is already available. And I think Optimism and Arbitrum, they are really good at this stage. They will have, but I believe that they will have certain issues going forward. And if I may sum it up, the optimistic rollups are likely to win out in the general purpose EMV computation. Yeah, so really very simple stuff, processing the transactions and like Optimism and Arbitrum is doing now. The only difference between these two is that the Arbitrum is also using some of the off-chain processing, but they were really early into the market. So Arbitrum was early adopter, and it had managed to onboard big projects like Aave, like Binance, 1inch, and basically even the GMX, its own decentralized crypto exchange, is the biggest one on Arbitrum, and this made Arbitrum very famous, especially after the FTX fallout, when everything went decentralized after FTX fell apart. But coming back to the ZK future, so the ZK rollups are likely to win out in the simple transactions like the exchange or application-specific use cases. And when we look medium to long term, I think ZK rollups are the ones that will win in general, especially once the technology improves. So and there will be more user adoption. I even read a big survey done by Aligned. This was they projected that the ZK knowledge proofs the market should reach around 10 billion, estimated reach of 10 billion by 2030, and this would include the zero knowledge proof. There should be like around 90 billion proofs to be executed by 2030 or in 2030. Which can be, as they said, it's going to be around 80,000 transactions per second. And if you take it in comparison, Visa, the payment service provider, is now doing around 65 transactions per second. So as you can see, that there is a big expectation that this market will grow, and ZK rollups have a big chance to win the race massively. Yeah.
So, okay, ZK rollups, optimistic rollups. So optimistic is Arbitrum, Optimism. We have ZK, which was ZK Sync, ZK Era. Sorry, ZK Sync Era, I think it's the same. And then ZK Scroll. And then Polygon has ZK-EVM. So they're all same categories. And then we have Validium, which you said is kind of hybrid between ZK on-chain, and then they have some off-chain components to it, making them faster than the ZK rollups, right? And then the example is just Polygon, or is there any other Validium based?
The Validium can be, for example, Immutable X. I don't know if you heard of them.
Yeah.
Immutable X, I think they work on that technology. Then there are very small ones like, for example, Apex or Rhino FA, and that's pretty much I can think of at this stage. Validium, yeah, it's very specific technology.
I see. Now, so rollups, is there any other layer 2 chains, lesser known chains that I haven't mentioned, we haven't talked about today, that we should be looking out for in future?
Well, this is a good one. Because I have actually read this week. There is one project, Layer 2 project, that is using this ZK rollup technology. It's called Linea. Linea, it's coming from the Consensys. You know, Consensys, the big crypto audit. They're doing also audit to different projects, and they're also investing in different crypto projects in early stages. So they came up with
Consensys, you mean the parent company of MetaMask?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So they came up with the MetaMask also. So they now launch Linea, and it's a ZK project that is a competitor to Polygon or ZK Sync Era. And this rollup has already witnessed a successful start. They're running a testnet. I think there was around 5 million unique addresses, and this just makes them very good launch. I think it's a really good start for them, and I think the alpha version that they are bringing now, or what they claim or what they promise, is that the the solution should make the transactions 15 times lower than they are on the Ethereum level 1. And why I think this is a small project, but why I think it's special is especially what you mentioned, that they own the MetaMask. And once they integrate this solution to MetaMask, where they have lots of users already, so this is gonna make the project, I think, very famous and popular in the ecosystem very soon. So it's something that I would definitely follow up and watch it. What's up there? They don't have any tokens yet. I mean, the project doesn't have any tokens, but I'm sure they will soon think of maybe some airdrops once it's also on the fully implemented, all the stuff that they need.
Got it. Is there anything else we should know about layer 2 landscape that we haven't covered today?
Well, I think I tried to cover most of the questions you ask. Of course, there is lots of technical details that I haven't mentioned, but yeah, for anything else that I have maybe missed out, you can find more information on our website on altFINS.com.
What's the best way to get in touch with you?
Yeah, exactly. Or you can get in touch with me through our website again. You can write. We have a Telegram. We have also our Discord, so you can reach out for my name or Lenka. We are constantly active, and if there is any questions related to layer 2, anytime we can reach out basically.
There you have it, folks. I think this is a great opportunity for traders to make informed decisions. Your platform is doing a great job, because right now, when you go for trading on platforms, there is no awareness of what people are trading. People are trading based on popularity. But if they have the research attached to those coins, I think they will be in a position to make much better informed decision about trading. And hopefully that'll bring more security and safety in our space.
Yeah, and this is exactly why altFINS was set up. It came up with the frustration of not knowing more or not having a transparency into different coins and tokens. So this is what we are bringing. We want to really know what is behind it, how it works, and give all this know-how and share it with our users, and so they can make better decisions, right? So
yeah, one example I'll give is when I'm talking to my friends and they realize that I'm into the crypto space now. They're asking me, hey, can you tell me what do you think about Shiba Inu? And they've never bought Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana in the first place, ever. But their first coin that they want to buy is specifically this person was Shiba Inu. And I was trying to explain him that you can see that the numerical value of Shiba Inu is like in cents, so he thinks it's very cheap. And Bitcoin is so expensive because it's in tens of thousands. I think something like if he goes on your platform and he sees the risks associated with Shiba Inu versus the risks in Bitcoin, and you also mentioned the future potential of each of these coins, he would get a better idea of why this is in cents and why this is in tens of thousands, right?
Yeah, and of course, it's very important to always do your research. So even if you read some others' research or some other analytics, you should do your own research and decide on your own. But as you said, it's important to get really good quality insights, exactly, and make a decision and decide between those two, because they are completely different coins or projects.
Marek, it was a pleasure to speak with you. Got a good overview of the landscape of layer 2 solutions, and also intro to your platform. I hope we can have you again in future and talk about some other topics and spread the knowledge to our users.
Yeah, anytime. Thank you also very much, and happy to be here on this podcast. Thanks.
Okay. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.